Hello, bonjour, ça va? And how are we tonight? It is Friday, December the 26th, 2025, here in southwestern Ontario, Canada, by the frozen shores of Lake Huron. Everything else around here is frozen as well. Had quite the ice storm today, went on for most of the day. No walking, no going out for a walk today, no going out for a drive. Sorry, that's my dishwasher just stopping there. We were actually told by the OPP to, just stay indoors because there were all kinds of traffic issues and, everything totally covered in a sheet of ice, everything. Did manage to get outside after it stopped later this afternoon. Took 25 minutes just to get the ice off the windows. And that's with the car running. So, it wasn't great. Anyway, as I was stuck indoors trying to find something to do to occupy my time, my mind, I was watching some different YouTube shows, some very interesting ones that I haven't seen before. And I know we've talked a lot about control, the control dominant factor here on your world and on your planet, and how we've usually talked about it's other people trying to control you, trying to control us. It's a human race trying to exert authority over us. But the point was shown to me today that there is another issue about control, and that's within us. That's our programs, our brainwashing, controlling us. And of course, you kind of come to that conclusion if you think about it. People are our mirrors, after all, to show us the patterns within ourselves that we can't see in the subconscious, or the brainwashing that we can't see. When I was first learning all this years ago, I was trying to figure out how can I tell where I'm brainwashed or where I have programs that need to be deleted. And what I discovered was that if I saw a person and they were behaving in a certain way and I was getting upset about it, then I soon learned that that is also in me. If it wasn't in me, if there was some kind of behavior and it's not exactly, we would call it the best behavior, and it didn't upset me, then I knew that really it didn't trigger me. I didn't have that issue going on within me. So I wanted to come on tonight and pass that information along. If you do find yourself getting really angry or upset with somebody's behavior, think about where you could be doing that yourself. And maybe it's only 10%. Maybe it's 99%. I don't know, or somewhere in between. Try to figure that out, because that'll go a long way in helping you to see your patterns, your programming, your brainwashing, all that stuff that we need to take a look at and resolve and rest and digest that out of us. As we have been talking about for quite some time, because the delineations and the lines of time they're pretty much already established. I'm getting there's a lot of guilt processing that's still coming out though too, right? Because then if we discover, well, let's say, it's an easy one to talk about jealousy, right? So if you see somebody behaving in a jealous manner and you go, oh, that person's really jealous and I don't like that. And then, oh, oops, like, okay, that's a question I should ask myself. If I'm that upset or angry about it, maybe I do that too. And then you go and you look at yourself and You analyze, reflect, go within, meditate, however you want to do it, and look at where you could possibly be jealous. And then go through the different programs, ask for guidance, show me, this works, show me where I have been acting out of jealousy, because there's no reason to be jealous. We're all gifted high light beings. Whether we choose to be that way or not, that's what we are. So we can, what's there to be jealous of? You can go and create whatever you want. Okay, you drop the comparison and competition when you raise your frequency. You're not looking outwardly at others anymore to compare yourself with. You're happy with who you are, because everybody's got their job to do. We're to be working in cooperation, coordination with each other, not in competition. Division and separation, that's what does us in. And as I've said how many times, if you find that the situation that you're in, there's division and separation, look around for who is the one who's planting the seeds of thought to do that, and figure out their agenda, because there's always an agenda. Usually it's about money or power and control, greed. You get the picture. And then you can make the choice whether to withdraw from that drama, that little escapade of theirs, or not. You can do whatever you want with that, but at least you'll recognize it and you'll know what to do with it. So the final little bits that are left to dispose of within our brainwashing, our subconscious issues, the programming, that comes from within us, where we recognize the different areas within ourselves as to where we are being controlled by ourselves, by our lower selves. So our higher selves are being controlled by our lower selves through the programming. I've always heard it in the past, and I have said it, that we're resistant to our higher selves. So we're in ego, we're in lower self. Our back gets up, Susie Q or Joe Blow down the street said this, or they did that, isn't that terrible? And then you fall into judgment. But if you stop and ask yourself, why am I upset about this? Why am I triggered by this? What's it got to do with me? It's none of my business. So why am I upset? Then you have to start digging and looking into yourself to figure that out. That's just the beginning. The question is just the beginning. Because if you don't even ask the question, you're never going to find it, are you? And you're never going to heal. Okay? Things pop up, you never know. The last 2 videos I did, I was showing you through a personal example, which is how Spirit teaches, how very hidden, deeply buried in the subconscious traumatic experience when I was a child, how that all unfurled and it all came out for me to remember it, for me to process through it, and thus the physical healing that I have been working through ever since that memory recall. You don't just remember the whole incident. You remember your emotions, your mental state, what you were thinking, your physical body. So like myself, because it was a violent episode, I was feeling actually what happened to me that I don't know, I didn't seem to remember that. Anyway, I talked about that. I'm not going to go over it again. If you want to listen to it, it's part 1 and part 2. I think it's the 22nd and the 23rd of December. But that's an example of how this works. What we're talking to you about, what we're trying to teach you or show you, as to how to heal yourself. But it all begins with that first question. How am I programmed? Where is my brainwashing that I am not aware of just yet? Show it to me. With all the energies pounding on your planet and on your world right now, of course, you're going to open up anyway, the pineal, the third eye. All those subconscious issues are just going to be coming out to the forefront anyway. But when they do, it's not to run and hide or to be embarrassed or think you're a terrible person or whatever. It's to ask the question, where have I been brainwashed? Why? Where's this coming from? It can come from this lifetime. It can come from other lifetimes, past, parallel, whatever. See, you're going to have to open your mind to understanding that too. I was doing that work, I think, for 6 months before I could finally say, okay, I believe in this, because I've had 6 months of experience working with people. I couldn't say it didn't exist anymore. So at some point, you just from your experience, you come to see and accept all the stuff you were told was not real, was not right, was bad, was whatever negative word they put to it, so that you don't believe the truth, that you believe the lie. Okay, you believe the lie. Everybody else does. I guess I should too. Really? So this is your waking up period. Enjoy it. Ask the question. You'll see the truth. It'll be unfurled, as I always hear it, or revealed to you. Ask spirit guidance. Show me. I want to know. I'm ready to know. Show me. Whatever it takes, I want to heal. Whatever it takes, I want to work through this. I want to be healthy and whole. I don't want to get upset every time somebody says some word or something that I fly off the handle or go into a rage. Find out the root causes of all your distortions in your thinking. I'm just remembering an incident a while back, maybe it was last month, where someone said, I like to hate. Yeah, I know that already about you, but it's really nice that you can see it now. Doesn't matter how many times you can say something to someone and you might want to think about this about yourself. They're not going to take it until they have that revelation themselves. So things just pop out. We just say things sometimes. Trace it, track that thought. Those words came out for a reason. Don't be so hard on yourselves, okay? It's more important to find the place within you to heal than just to let it fester and you never grow. And you never get your frequency raised up to a point high enough that you can transcend. Okay, you have to learn how to bend. Yeah, I'm seeing the picture of the trees out here covered in ice. That I have some really gigantic cedar trees. Like this, as I've said before, this is a birch tree and a cedar tree forest. I mean, there are other trees. I actually have a tulip tree. It's gorgeous. There's maple, the usual stuff, here. But mainly cedars, and I have some gigantic ones. And those poor things is just like, is it going to fall down and break everything in its path? Those things are huge. And they're heavy when covered in ice. They don't stand up straight like the other trees do. So, bend. Got to learn how to bend and not break. Okay. I'm hearing also to say we all have made mistakes. We view it as mistakes. Spirit views it as experiences. So again, shift your parameters of thought there. Don't be so hard on yourselves. Everybody's been through it too, okay? Just to some degree or percentage or another. We have more in common than not. Love you always. Take care of yourselves and others. If you do wish to book an appointment with us, we are working, just not working on Sundays, but the rest of the time, right here, you can just go on the website to book your appointment, www.healingourenergy.ca. All right. Okay, I shall go. You're beautiful. I love you. Always. I'll see you another day. Bye for now.